just run.
Run.
Running. Woo!
Jesus Christ.
The next room.
No way.
I've heard of the
I don't
mannequin
like
challenge,
this
but this
at
is
all.
fucking ridiculous. You've pulled a few silly moves in your day, right?
I have.
So, for those of you who haven't been in the know, the one and only Chadwick Bartlett over here
Me, I guess.
is, in fact, and by the way, his first name is not Chadwick. I just call him that because why not?
Why not?
And well, Chad is a pro wrestler, and he has some moves that he likes to pull. Some of your favorites to do in the ring. The Sling Blade is one of your favorite signature moves. Also, you're really good at taking a back body drop, and also the lift up. What do you call it? It's like lift up.
Oh, your mom's favorite slam?
Yeah,
It's a side slam.
yeah.
It's a good one.
Basically, it starts out. He's like behind you, and then he like grips around the waist, lifts you up, and then basically like rock bottoms you.
And then a stunner off the ropes.
Yeah.
I love doing that one too.
Have you done that one?
Well, you know where I step outside the ropes and then do a stunner with their neck on the rope.
Oh yeah.
I love doing that one too. Whoop, fumble.
It's okay. We got it.
But for me as a heel and working in a tag team of cowardly heels, my favorite thing to do is just talk smack and take bumps.
Mm-hmm.
And for heat, it's whatever.
Yeah.
You know.
Hey man, if it works for you, it works for you.
Yeah.
And they and throughout wrestling history, there have been a litany of like special moves, taunts, and stuff like that that for some reason are just super over with the fans.
What's your top 5?
Top 5 silliest ones?
Not silly, but just
Okay.
your favorite.
Okay. I would say probably... Okay, Shawn Michaels is tuning up the band for the Sweet Chin music.
Okay.
That gets the crowd hyped up because, you know, boom, boom. And then, like, the crowd starts clapping with it. And then, of course, also in Canada, it's a guaranteed, like, heel, like, plus 10 in the heel points.
Mm-hmm.
Then I would say the People's Elbow.
Of course.
I mean, that's
It's a whole routine, you know.
yeah. Just whenever you slam them, you basically walk around. You always have to kick their arm up beside of them, and then elbow pad off. Usually the right, but if The Rock does it more than one, I remember that was a neat little thing they included in the SmackDown games.
Yep.
Like, he would take his elbow pad off and throw it, but then if he did it again, he would take off his
The
other
other
elbow
yeah.
pad and he would throw it. And then the rest of the match, he wouldn't have elbow pads. It's like, damn. Like, that's some awesome shit that they included that.
Mm-hmm.
I would say Hulk Hogan's hulking up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yep.
And then I would also say Stone Cold's, like, mud hole stomp. You know, there's the in the corner. And then, of course, it's grown on me over the years. And I just can't help but laugh at the name of it every time because of just what it's a euphemism for. The Five Knuckle Shuffle by John Cena. Yeah. And for those of you who are not aware what the Five Knuckle Shuffle is,
Yeah.
that's basically the Five Knuckle Shuffle. So yeah, it's there's some crazy ones out
For
there. How about
me,
you?
Swanton Bomb.
Yeah,
The whole, you know,
yeah, that extension he gets.
Goldberg's fucking that one.
Gotta stick the tongue out for that one.
Ric Flair and Sting both did it. Sting got it from Flair, but the woo before doing like the Scorpion Death Drop or whatever he was doing. He usually did that before the Stinger Splash.
Yeah,
Obviously Stone Cold waiting for people to get up for the stunner.
yeah.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
Macho Man. You know, there's just certain ones, man, that just like you know what's coming, and it's just like, oh shit.
They hit you, and
Yeah.
and it makes you just like, it makes you feel some type of way.
Yeah, Undertaker.
Yeah, and Benoit also did that.
Yeah.
but Undertaker did it first.
Yeah, there's a bunch, man. We
Yes.
could go on forever with that shit.
So, all right, I guess we're just gonna hop into this video. This is by Wrestling Flashback.
Oh,
10
yeah.
more iconic special moves and taunts that hyped up the fans.
Hell yeah.
Let's go. Oh wait, let me make sure. We're good.
1, 2, is this on?
An effective taunt is a surefire way to
There
keep
it
fans
is.
engaged, especially when they know one of their
Yeah.
favorite moves.
People's
is on the
elbow.
way. A taunt can also be something that people can reenact themselves,
Taker
or
sitting
simply
up.
just enjoy seeing.
Spinneroonie.
Some great examples today as we list 10
Yep.
more wrestling taunts
Perk
that hyped
angle.
up the fans. Austin's middle
Perk
finger.
angle.
First, we have a university recognized hand gesture that just so happened to fit Stone Cold Steve Austin's rebellious anti-hero persona perfectly.
Black boots, black tights. And Ric Flair in there as well.
Like a microphone like the rattlesnake, but a simple flip of the bird was often just as impactful as a promo.
Iron
When we
Mike.
saw Austin
Yep.
with the double birds, then we knew a Stone Cold Stunner was on the way.
People down here comes and oh wait. Oh shit.
That was great when Rock had the
WrestleMania-
camera.
Yeah, WrestleMania 15, or was that Backlash? I think that was either Backlash or WrestleMania 15. That was some great shit, dude.
Yeah.
Austin. Austin with a stunner of Shane McMahon. Oh, look out.
Worst bump ever.
Steve had plenty of recognizable catchphrases, while at the same time also being well versed in sign language.
Double kickstand.
John Cena's You Can't See Me. The You Can't See Me quickly became a trademark of John Cena's character. Cena
You know how it started? As a bet. His like they were listening to the music for his album that he made for it, and his brother just started doing this, going, and he's just like, "Wait a minute, what?" What? John's like, "What's this, man? What's this?" And he's like, dude, all the dudes up in the club are doing this shit. You know, it's like G Unit started it. He's just like, G Unit does this. It's like, I ain't never seen 50 Cent ever do this, never. But apparently, like, his brother was just like, hey, he's like, hey, bet you won't use that out in the ring. He's like, what do I got to lose? And then he goes out there, and instead of just doing this, he does this.
Yeah.
And now for
Legend
all
has
these
it.
years,
Yeah.
it has been this.
first did it as a dare that was organized with his brother.
At the house one day.
God dang it!
Yeah, you did it
I
again.
need to shut my damn mouth and just let them tell the story.
Yeah.
Sean started dancing. And he started doing a song, dance where he was moving his head around his hand. And I said, I'm getting that on TV.
But since the gesture fit Cena's rapper gimmick so well, he continued to use the taunt, which doubled up as a catchphrase.
You can't see me.
Eventually, the You Can't See Me taunt became a precursor to the 5 Knuckles Shuffle, which itself was a predecessor to the FU or Attitude Adjustment as it's known today.
Look out. I'm Cena saying, you can't see me. And it's a, you can't see me. And according to John Cena, he's going to see a lot of Vicky Guerrero. Double 5-knuckle shuffle.
The fans always loved to replicate the You Can't See Me along with Cena. The You Can't See Me later began to take on a life of its own, to the point where today, Cena being invisible is a massive online meme. It's fully embraced.
People would take their picture with John Cena, which is simply like pointing at nothing. It's something that's been in the internet cycle for so long, but it still never gets old.
You can't see me.
The Dudley Boys get the tables. The Dudley
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh. I remember when they came back to WWF after being away for so long during their last run in the company, and their first night back, the crowd was so damn loud, and just like as soon as he pushed Devon, Devon, and then he knew the crowd was in on it. He's like 1, 2, 3. And then he did that, and then the whole crowd just, get the tables! Oh,
when it came
so
to tag team
good.
wrestling in the late 90s with their smash mouth hardcore style that incorporated weapons. This helped them stand out when they came to the WWF, especially when it came to their use of tables. And as the duo and their table spots began to get more and more over, it was only fitting that the Dudleys established a battle cry that signaled when it was time to get wood.
That's it.
The Get the Tables phrase was born by accident after Devon forgot his spot in a match, resulting in Bubba therefore reminding him to get the tables. Bubba then began to use the phrase regularly, where he would first shout Devon's name before telling his brother to get the tables as the fans shouted along. Randy Orton pounds the mat. The RKO can be hit from absolutely
Yep.
anywhere, and whether the fans can see it coming or
Oh,
not, they always
that shit was
react to
amazing.
reach. We all love
Yes.
to see a great RKO from out of nowhere, but it's also fun seeing Orton build up to the move by slamming his arms down on the mat. The taunt perfectly fits for the Viper, who just like an apex predator, stalks his prey before pouncing.
The Viper coils. As the Viper is thinking of striking. Good night, Bo.
Yep.
Whether it's the RKO,
Not Bo
the
Dallas.
DDT, or the punt
I,
kick,
he didn't believe.
Orton makes sure to create suspense.
Randy Orton is going to that place. Oh, here we go.
Building up to each move by taunting and hyping himself up, which in turn hypes up the fans. They know exactly what's coming, and their reactions to the setup
say,
and
man.
eventual execution help Orton's signature moves mean so much
One of the
more.
better, as I'm going to say, it's good to see Randy Orton keeping the legacy of the Diamond Cutter still.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely is.
Yep.
Shawn Michaels tunes up the band. A crescendo
Ah,
is when a musical
yes!
passage gradually increases in volume until it reaches its climax. In wrestling, the finishing move is the climax, while the taunting and prior build-up helps to reach the crescendo. For Shawn Michaels, this meant tuning up the band until he gave us some sweet chin music. HBK built his crescendo by stomping his foot on the mat, increasing intensity after each stomp, and as Shawn did this, the crowd rose.
And then you start to bring in a little more drama to it. You know, faster and faster and faster, and the energy is building and building and building.
Michaels then produced sweet chin music. It all started with the stomp and ended with the super kick. The super kick alone was already one hell of a move, but Shawn made it his own by tuning up the band in the corner. It's something we've seen other wrestlers later adapt to their moveset, such as Seth Rollins and his setup for the curb stomp.
And these capacity crowds getting it together in Michaels. And the band is tuning up the favorite song. And you're gonna put the joy. Do you hear the band tuning up? I can hear.
Also,
Continues.
you'll notice Sean's outfit, whenever he was wearing tights back then, you know, it was like very constricting and all that. Later on, with the leather pants, the reason why he wore the leather pants was to hide his knee braces. Yeah, and honestly, wardrobe changes like that to hide knee braces, stuff like it. Stone Cold wasn't able to do that because he
Trunks.
just came out. Yeah, he just came out in knee braces and you saw it. It was like, damn.
Hey, he
Sets
didn't
up
give a
the
damn.
spear.
No.
Despite using the spear since his debut, Edge didn't begin to find true success with the move until adopting it as a finisher in 2004. And with that came the build-up. Edge would crouch down in the corner, flail his hair, and measure his opponent. The Rated R superstar appeared deranged. To hit the spear, Edge needed to dig down deep. He couldn't wait to hit the move while the fans couldn't wait to see it. While Goldberg and Rhino's strength was steamrolling their opponents with the spear, Edge relied on building suspense while his facial expressions made him look like a man possessed.
I gotta say,
While Edge
For me,
benefited by being able to hit
the best spear / gore I've ever seen was when Rhino gored The Rock, and The Rock is a master at selling. He sells the stunner probably better than almost anybody. Him and Scott Hall both sold it amazingly.
Scott Hall, boing.
Yeah, yeah, and the whole deal with The Rock is when he took the gore from Rhino, he did like a rollout, like he just got involved in a car crash. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Hit the spear in several different ways. He
Oh,
also
yeah.
found success using a more methodical approach. This was in keeping with his ultimate opportunist mindset. Who could forget the way he targeted his opponents when cashing in Money in the Bank? Striking when the time was right, hunting in the corner with gritted teeth in anticipation of the spear.
That's sick piranha. He's a piranha that could be our next world champion. Not this way. Not this way.
Eddie Guerrero's smirk. Eddie Guerrero had
Yeah.
a smile that was on show for all to see anytime Eddie hatched a plan to lie, cheat, and steal in a match. Typically, the opponent and referee would both be down, allowing Latino Heat to grab a weapon and plant it on his opponent just in time for the referee to wake up and catch the opposing wrestler red-handed.
The tradition called lie, cheat, steal.
It didn't always work out, but it was immensely entertaining every time. That's why Eddie's smirk became so iconic, because it was then that the fans knew they were in for a treat.
Eddie Guerrero, oh, look at this.
Oh yeah.
Referee's
The
out.
loot.
And
Oh
she's
yeah.
hurt, but look at the look on Eddie's face.
It didn't matter that Guerrero was blatantly cheating to try and win. He did it
For me, it was when Eddie loosened his boot, and Angle went for the ankle lock, got it turned loose, and then he turned it into a roll up. I was like, oh.
in such an endearing
Masterful.
and funny way that the
Yes.
people just loved him for it. Whenever the smirk came over Eddie's face, it was hard not to smile along with him. Then, once his subsequent pin either came off or failed, we were still smiling thanks to Guerrero's brilliance. The Worm. Scotty 2 Hotty.
Yeah.
And he can still do the worm even all these years
Used in a
later.
wrestling match. The actual impact of the move is nothing more than a chop, but the setup and taunting done beforehand is what made the Worm so popular. Scotty used a nice variation of the Bulldog to bring his opponents to the mat. Then came the hop, stomp, squirm, and jump that was the Worm. Jerry Lawler helped
Whoop.
to add to the presentation on commentary
Whoop.
by echoing the words that the
Whoop.
fans would later begin to
Woo.
recite as
Woo.
Scotty executed the move.
You can close your eyes.
Unlike The Rock's People's Elbow, the Worm rarely ever won Scotty a match, but that didn't stop it from being the best weapon in his arsenal, something the fans pop for every time. Roman Reigns gears up for the Superman punch.
Oh,
When Reigns debuted as
no.
part of Shield, one of the things that made him
man.
stand out was his use of the Superman punch. Sure, he didn't have an extensive moveset starting out, but the Superman punch was uniquely his. It looked great and garnered a strong reaction in no small part thanks to its build-up.
And look at Reigns. There they go.
I think about Roy every time I see it.
Yeah, I do too.
There was this hillbilly wrestling promoter that Nate and I both used to work with who there was a star on one of our shows who decided he was going to borrow Roman Reigns' little thing and went down to the mat with it. And he was like, "You've got to be fucking shitting me. You, no,
No.
no."
No.
He was, "You got to be fucking shitting me."
I'm so goddamn mad.
Just as soon as he saw him do it, he lost his fucking mind. It was so funny. He was so pissed. No!
It's like,
No!
you'd think he was watching his wife get dicked down by
Yeah.
by Lexington Steel.
You got to be fucking kidding me. Shit was funny.
When Reigns cocked his fist and punched to the mat, it could only mean one thing. Even though it was only used as a secondary move, it still packed a punch. The Superman punch could be hit from out of nowhere, but even when the opponent could see it coming, it was hard to avoid.
A little bit discombobulated. Superman punch. Oh, we got him.
Reigns would later incorporate the Superman punch taunt into his entrance, while the move itself remains a setup for the spear, a maneuver in which Reigns also has a special taunt for.
Go for the knockout punch. Superman punch. Superman punch. Look at that.
The flare flop. Lastly,
Oh,
the
yes.
damage to the person performing it. However,
It's the greatest thing I've ever seen, dude. This shit is so funny.
it's so iconic, you just have to love it. Ric Flair sold so much for his opponents that he established numerous signature bumps he would take in matches. The iconic Flair flop was certainly the funniest, as the Nature Boy would be hit with offense, take a few steps, and then collapse to the ground by falling forward.
It's so good.
It's great.
It's amazing.
Flair would act so punch drunk and out on his feet, it was hilarious that he could even still walk. However, it was even funnier once he did the flop.
Oh, Flair is really hurt. Double knocker. Just as taking care of business. Flair's got
Yeah, against Steamboat. You want to talk about wrestling clinics? His matches with Steamboat.
Yeah.
Offensively, Eddie Guerrero talked before the break.
Yeah.
Oh, the nosedive! Championship matches. Flair goes face first. And Ric Flair has
Those are the best ones when he goes for like 5 or 6 steps and then falls.
Third.
Nature Boy seems dazed here.
We're good. I'm good. I'm not.
Oh, shots. Oh, wait. Watch Flair now. He's had enough. Oh, no. Man, look at that. Up and away. And Ric Flair. And Flair in big trouble. Oh, no. He can't get knocked down. Well, they won't give him a chance to fall. Chopping the hell out of Ric Flair, and Flair's somehow standing. Oh, look at Nate. Ready? Oh, no. Turnabout is certain.
I just.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh.
Fair play. Or Flair play. Where's the respect, JR? Oh, no. On this contest, Shawn Michaels showing, obviously. Hang in there, Nate. Hang in there.
I got you.
And that brings us to the end of this video. As always, if you enjoyed the video,
man.
be sure to give it a like and subscribe. And if you enjoyed this one, be sure to check out our first installment of 10 iconic special moves and taunts that hyped up the fans. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.
Wrestling flashbacks, dude.
Just wrestling, dude. I mean, what's there to say?
It's
Damn.
the highest form of entertainment, dude.
It's up there. I mean,
It's-
and people don't give it enough credit. It was like, wrestling, you really watch that fake stuff? It's just like, oh, dude. The Walking Dead, you really watch that fake shit?
Yeah, for everything. Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, Star Trek, reality TV,
Yeah, supposedly reality TV. Which
most professional sports. Sorry to tell you, it's rigged. Well, they don't choreograph it, no. But do you see how many super teams there are in professional sports where they take salary caps away and allow them to stack teams to the point where you can't tell me Dwayne Wade and LeBron James together on one team with Chris Bosh also wasn't a rig?
It was a rig. It was a
To
pretty big
have
rig.
Dwayne Wade, to have Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant on the same team, dude. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, Michael Jordan.
Kind of hard to deny.
How are you going to beat that? Nobody really could. You know, I mean, anyway, I could go on about that, but look what the Yankees do.
Oh, baseball has no cap. That's the thing. And some teams have a bigger budget than others. I mean, the Yankees have the biggest, and then you look down at the bottom end. It's like you got the Oakland Athletics, who have like a third, or like some seasons like a quarter.
Boxing is the worst for it. We'll be real, you know. Finally, we're gonna get a good boxing match with Usyk and, you know, the Gypsy King, but yeah, there's so many sports. I mean, it doesn't always work, but the bill is loaded, you know.
I mean, for me personally, you can't look any further than rigging of boxing in terms of like keeping a superstar like undefeated and all that, more than you can the first two fights between Canelo Alvarez and Gennady Golovkin. There is nothing you can do to convince me that Adelaide Bird was bribed through her fucking nose to give like any kind of leeway to because here's the thing: the first fight, 100%, Canelo lost. I'm sorry, but if you show someone that and then don't show them the scorecards at the end, everyone, and I repeat, everyone will say that Canelo lost. second fight, you might have a little bit more leeway. But Gennady, still in my mind, did more than enough to win.
Mm-hmm. But even if it is fake, even if it is choreographed and it's just entertainment, fake used loosely because all the impacts are real.
It hurts.
What about Bruce Lee? You know, how many people look at Michael Jai White? He'll tell you the difference between actual martial arts and theater martial arts, but it all can end up sucking in the end, and we all love it because it's fun, it tells a great story, it's impressive, the skill that's required regardless of if it's choreographed or not. I mean, I don't know. I think that people who use that whole argument are just looking for a scapegoat to hate something. It's okay to not be a fan of something, but you can still respect it.
Yeah, 100%. But anyway, though, I guess we're going to move on from this. This was 10 more iconic special moves, taunts, and taunts that hyped up the fans. I know there's a first one to this, so we may go back and check that one out.
Yeah.
But for now, I think that's going to do it. Until then, I'm Nate.
I'm Chad.
Take care, everybody. Peace.